Hello everyone and welcome to another Warhammer 2 multiplayer battle, this time featuring myself, bringing Wurzag the Great Green Prophet with a mighty Waaagh against Tacosaurus Rex and his vampire counts. Now this was actually just done in a custom lobby. I wanted to create a Greenskins build and see how it would work against specifically the vampire counts, and so I believe Tacosaurus here made a type of build that would be decent and kind of well balanced against the Greenskins. So looking at our build, the main things here are going to be the fact that we have a few orc boys just as their main line. Actually, those aren't the main things. I lied. Here are the main things, the big boys themselves. We've got a rogue idol and two giants with Wurzag in the back line. Look at him with his little happy feet here. He's having a good time. With him, we're bringing a Brain Bursta, I believe. Yes, Brain Bursta, as well as Foot of Gork. Effigy to get, of course, which he comes with, and Fist of Gork to imbue magical damage, which is big in case the vampire counts bring any of that ethereal units like Cairn Wraiths and Hex Wraiths, those sort of things. Fist of Gork will make even Orc Boys and Goblins punch hard against those units. Outside of the two giants and the rogue idol, who does give leadership map-wide, we brought the Logie Bogie Spore Sploders. I'm really trying to make these guys work. I think my micro still needs some work with these guys, but I believe that they can do some solid damage and they'd be a big distraction to the enemy. We also have the 8-peak loonies here, the Night Goblins with the loons, just because they're, honestly, I think one of the best units that you can have as the Greenskins. Simply because you get poison, decent melee stats, silver shields, and those loons that they send out can do a lot of damage and be very versatile, as well as the fact that they are invisible. And of course, my standard kind of go-to double Spider Riders with archers and double Spider Riders. Actually, no, I think here we just did yeah, I just went for two Spider Rider archers, actually, so I lied about that. We couldn't afford the multiple spiders, so we're going to send them around to the front, doing some small damage to the skeleton spearmen, but honestly, they'll just be wasting their shots against those guys. I want to try to shoot the Vargeist if I can, or even those Crypt Horrors. As for our enemy's army here, we can see that he does have skeleton spearmen, the Dire Pack here, Crypt Horrors, Vargeist up in the air with a Terrorgeist, Fellbats, zombies, Cairn Wraiths, as well as Helman Gorst to lead his forces here on this battle today. And Gorst himself looking pretty solid. He is bringing Invocation into Heck, Awaken from the Grave, Gaze into Gash, Van Hell's Dance Macabre, Curse of Years, Wind of Death. Pretty much the whole spell loadout here. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but there it is. Ready to cast a lot of magic and just be, well, he's Helman Gorst. He's just a Necromancer when it comes down to it. So here I do see an opportunity to maybe get a cheeky charge in with the Logie Bogie, so we're going to go straight in here, land on the skeleton spearmen, and as you can see, when they go in here, they actually do some decent damage, and then that explosion they cause lets them kind of clear a pathway to get out of here, which kind of can work. They can kind of hit and run and then escape with that knockback, and they don't take hardly any damage here. We're going to bring in the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Dire Pack are coming in, so we're going to try to retreat and just get the Orc Boys on them as we perfectly get away from them in time. Dire Pack are going to get away, though, without taking too many casualties. Only about 2 wolves there dying at the end of the day. We're going to send in the 8-peak loonies as well as Orc Boys just to kind of tie on this flank down here, while the rest of our army kind of just bides their time as we attempt to work the skirmish phase. But here I realize, alright, we just need to go in. I mean, they don't have any missiles, so really we could just keep playing around with them if we wanted to, but we want to get those walls popping. Forest Goblin Spider Riders going up early. I believe I have them off of fire at will at this point. But they are going to start to fire at these Vargeist. I'll be a little bit late as these Orc Boys are going to get caught up. Vargeist, Terrorgeist, Skeletons, it's not a good matchup for them. They are not long for this world, but as you can see, a Brain Burst is going off here, hitting the Cairn Wraiths, doing some decent damage. Only about a couple hundred there, so not amazing. Orc Boys going in, though, supported with the Giant, who's going to try to club away these Crypt Horrors as soon as he gets into melee here. Orc Boys here being drained of their essence by Helman Gorst as we try to decide where we're going to send our Rogue Idol. Over here, though, Orc Boys supported with a Giant to kind of keep them anchored down. Giant can do a lot of damage to Spearmen, as well as he can just club away those Crypt Horrors once he actually gets an attack in there. Wall is popping, but our front line is now routing away. Over here, though, Rogue Idol going in for a big attack right on Helman Gorst. Seems to actually miss him a bit, though. Mostly just hits the Sternton, which is still a great target for him. And now the Rogue Idol is going to try to hit that slow Helman Gorst with only 23 speed compared to the 31. We hit him with the Effigy to get, and this is big. We can send Wurzag in as a foot of Gork goes down in the background there. Try to catch both of this action happening, doing big damage to the Spearmen and the Crypt Horrors. And now Helmengorst is stuck here. He's trapped. Rogue Idol coming in, giving him the poundin'. Although he apparently missed those few attacks. And Wurzag is going to back off now as the Dire Pack comes in. But we get another Brain Burster doing loads of damage to them. Over here on the right flank, Giants just doing their damage, fighting off the Spearmen as well as the Crypt Horrors. Trying to keep these Orc Boys alive who have 115 kills right now. They've done some damage. Terrorgeist, though, is going to do a breath attack on the Goblin Spider Rider. It's not the best target for him. We're going to keep the Loki Bogey Spore Exploders running around. I do see here, though, we need to deal with Helmengorst, but I realize he's a little bit too fast. Let's just go in, collapse in on the Cairn Riz here. And I actually had missed it, but earlier I casted Fist of Gork on my Orc Boys back there, and they destroyed a unit of Cairn Riz. It was so quick. Another Wah is popping, though, and every time Wurzag casts a spell, we do get combat effects. We do get damage resistance and melee attack for all of our units, so they can hit very hard as long as we keep using those cheap spells. Vargeist in the backline chasing off our Spider Riders, but honestly they're not too important at this stage of the battle. We just need to keep our Giants alive, work on taking down Helmengorst, and get through these Crypt Horrors who are keeping the lines anchored down here. Of course, with the triple big monsters here who are not going to terror out, and a massive swing takes out those Crypt Horrors. Yeah, the idea with the Giants and Rogue Idol is to just avoid terror routes, since they won't run away from fear. And the Rogue Idol gives you a map-wide leadership bonus. But he is going to take a big charge from those Vargeist, but honestly not taking too much damage. You can see here it's only going down a couple hundred hit points every hit that gets him. As another Brain Burster goes down, and when that does happen, that does boost up his physical resistance thanks to Wurzag, as well as... Actually, no, it's just charge bonus, is it? I thought he got physical resistance from that. I guess I just misthought there. Wurzag, though, 114 kills, doing loads of damage, being hard to lock down since he is on foot. You'd think he'd have magical attacks, though, considering he's a wizard and all. Here, though, over on this flank, our Orc Boys anchored down with a Giant have basically won their fight. Giant's going to club away some of these Vargeist, basically taking one down with every swing that he does, as a couple more do die. They're actually getting 2 in that hit. Sternsman, though, getting lots of kills against the Goblins, but that's fine. The Goblins here are just going to hold them off as long as possible. As now the Giant is fighting the Terrorgeist, who is anti-large, compared to the Giant who's anti-infantry. But still, a Giant, 65 melee attack, 30 defense, 600 weapon strength when he's not debuffed as he is right now. But now we see that Helmengorst is here. We try to cast Effigy to get, try to stop him from moving. We need to get the Giant and the Rogue Idol, who are fighting back to back right now. They need to get on this man and start clubbing him down. Cairn, though, just being annoying. They're able to take, some of that damage from that Rogue Idol. He's at 1,000 weapon strength right now. That is ridiculous. He's low on hit points. He's getting a huge weapon strength buff right now thanks to Rubble and Ruin. Just absolutely massive. That is crazy. 990 armor piercing. Could you imagine if he was starting to hit the Terrorgeist at this point? That would be massive. Just the incredible amount of damage that he can do. As he does start to go in, throwing rocks onto the Terrorgeist. And this is kind of the main area of the fight. In the back line there, Orc Boys, Goblins, and that Giant just doing whatever work they can do. As we kill down the last of these Crypt Horrors. They did what damage they could, but now he's running out of tools to actually deal with our large targets. A breath attack does come down, though. Takes about another 1,000 damage away from the Rogue Idol. And he charges in with that Terrorgeist. Doing good damage on the charge as Wurzag tries to chase down Helmengorst. We do have Spider Riders here, who I probably should have just kept them in melee here to lock down. But look at that Rogue Idol just collapsing his giant body onto that Necromancer there. And now Wurzag is going to get engaged. But the Rogue Idol is getting very low. Only 1,200 hit points remaining. Can he hold in there? 800. He's slowly getting his life force drained by Helmengorst here. But that Terrorgeist is now chasing him down. And he is going to rout away. Crypt Horror is coming in. He basically realizes that he just needs to work on our targets one at a time. So he tries to run away from the other Giant before deciding, yeah, these turns need to come down this way. It's just Wurzag, the Giants, and a couple of Spider Rider archers giving fire support now, working on those Crypt Horrors. My opponent can still get in this if he gets another summon off. Maybe perhaps he can tie down our monsters and use Gorst and maybe the Terrorgeist to work down another giant, who does get another breath attack on that giant, but he still has a huge hit point pool remaining. Now is the last charge of everyone. Terrorgeist coming in, Stearnsman, 257 kills on those absolute chads. But Helmengorst is in a very, very dangerous spot, surrounded from both sides by two giants, and with that, the rest of his army is going to shatter, now that they are no longer under his control. So a great battle against Tacosaurus Rex there. Really good sport, willing to actually play vampire counts against me as I tested out this build. And I think it has a lot of potential. Loki Bogey Spore Explode is not doing too great. I need to work on my micro with them. I feel like if you're going to go with pump wagons, just go for the spiky rollers, because you get that armor piercing and that armor debuff, and they can really support your lines. The Spore Exploders, I'm having a hard time making them work. Rogue Idol, though, paying for itself 2,600 gold there. He's worth 2,300. Our Giants also paying for themselves. Actually, not this one. He only got 1,300 value, but he was fighting mostly just chaff that entire battle, but still, that's pretty good value for mostly just fighting garbage. Spider Rider Archers do typically pay for themselves, especially if you can exhaust their ammunition. AP Gloonies, though, I completely forgot to use their Fanatics abilities. I was so tied up with Wurzag. And Orc Boys themselves, doing pretty solid all around. One of them actually getting 950 combat value. That must have been the one that I buffed up with the Fist of Gork and had him kill some of those Cairn Wraiths. But looking at my opponent's build, Cairn Wraiths doing okay damage this one, but the other one got kind of destroyed pretty quickly, simply because I had Wurzag and the magic damage. If you don't bring Wurzag or an Orc Shaman, then typically I would say the Cairn Wraiths and Ethereal units are very safe, since the Greenskins don't have much magic outside of Orc Shamans giving the Fist of Gork spell. Steersman here, 1100 damage value. Fellbats weren't too useful, they're kind of just throwaway units meant to annoy the Goblin Horse Archers. But that Terrorgeist, though, doing 2100 damage value, and Helmengorst getting about 700. It's not too bad at the end of the day. I mean, all our value was in our big monsters here, and he definitely did some damage. But look at that, 17,500 damage by that Rogue Idol. That was amazing. 13,500 here, and 15,500 by these Giants. So these guys really just putting the pounding down on our opponent in this matchup. And I think this build could work. I'd probably take out the Loki Bogey Spore Exploders and replace them with perhaps another Spider Rider Archer, or maybe another infantry unit, maybe some Orc Biggins to kind of help clear out the Crypt Horrors. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode, and I will see you guys on the next one. Farewell.